Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Vanessa. Today I'm going to be doing a quick video about symptoms for TMJ that you could like look out for. So basically for me, I feel like my situation was a little bit different because the year 2021, basically towards the end of 2020, going into, no wait, when was it? What year are we in? We're in 2022. It was kind of towards the end of 2020 and the entire year of 2021. But basically my ears were just like, I don't know why they were killing me. They were like hurting, and we all thought like, oh, maybe it's a like I have a lot of wax, so I went and got my ears irrigated like every month. I've gotten ear candling, like I got rid of my earwax, and like that wasn't it. So then I started going to go see an ENT, which is an ear, nose, and throat doctor. And I saw the first ENT that I saw was just like so rude. He like didn't even really look at my ears. He just like went like that and that. He like just looked at them really quickly and was like, "You're good," and just like walked out of the room. Pretty much made me feel like, and I drove an hour to get to this ENT. I had to pay a $45 copay just for this guy to look at me for 1 minute and be like, "You're good," and walked away like I wasted his time. So that was already super discouraging, and just like my ears would just get super I just felt like they would get so much pressure to the point where they felt clogged, which is why we all thought it was like we all thought it was like an earwax thing. So they would get like really clogged, and then I just like couldn't hear anything, and it just felt like I was underwater or something, and like I couldn't tell like, why are my ears hurting, like why are my ears hurting. And I seen doctors, and I was like, oh, it's your allergies. So I started taking allergy medication for literally no reason. I'm not allergic to anything really. So I was taking these medication pills, cetrizine or whatever I forgot what it was called, and I was taking that for like 2 months when I didn't need to, because they thought like, oh, maybe it's like allergies, you're allergic to something, and like that's what's clogging up your ears, you got a middle ear is what they kept calling it. And then I went to El Salvador, and I saw a doctor over in El Salvador, and the doctor basically like cleaned my ears too. He's like, well, it doesn't really look like there's anything wrong, but you might have like a viral bacteria in your ear, and maybe that's what's making your ears hurt. Mind you, all this irrigation that they're doing in my ears was making my ears hurt even more. So then I was only in El Salvador for 2 weeks, so I didn't have time to go see this, like, to go to this lab to get the bacteria done, because, like, I had to go back home to the United States. And I came back home and I talked to my primary doctor, and I was like, listen, you got to send me to another ENT, because all the ones that I've seen, like, just aren't cutting it. Like, no one's really trying to get down to the bottom of it. Like, it's been over a year of this ear issue, and just the ear issue is also making me dizzy, lightheaded. Doing any sort of like cardio or exercise would make me lightheaded. Like constantly I was just like this, like rubbing my ears, and I still do that every once in a while, but not as much, where I'm like doing this a little bit and just like behind my ears, like all of this, like everything hurt. And finally I went to go see this other doctor, Dr. Pollock, in Chicago. And he like actually like took the time to listen to everything, and he recorded our conversation. Like, I think just him as a doctor, he records everything. And that's how he like writes out his notes, which I already kind of thought was like cool. This doctor's actually like, I don't know, he's like, he likes his job maybe, and he takes his job seriously. So yeah, that was really cool. And he was like, open your mouth, and no one has ever told me to open my mouth. So he told me like open and close, which I did. He's like, open as wide as you could. And like that's when like it kind of was hitting me that like something else could have, like something besides my ears could have been the reason behind the final diagnosis of TMJ. But basically, like when I opened my mouth, do you see how I closed it? It was like that, and I had to hold it because I like kind of freaks me out. And then he put his like fingers in my ears. He had gloves on, but he put his fingers in my ears, and it's like something that doctors can feel. And basically like some ENT doctors like study TMJ pain, although the jaw is not a part of ENT things, it's like kind of a part of it. And he's like, my gut is telling me that you have TMJ. I could tell by the way your joints move when you were opening your mouth. He's like, does your jaw ever hurt? And I guess I just like never thought about it, but like my jaw and the way that I yawn, every time I yawn my ears pop. Every time, sometimes when I eat something, a big reason why I don't really like to eat red meat is because it's just so chewy. And I still eat it every once in a while, but like it's just so chewy, and like I could feel it like ringing down here, but I never noticed it. Like I just kind of thought that like that was just something random about me, like a silly little quirk. But it kind of got me thinking. He's like, do you chew gum? And I was like, I do, like every day. And he's like, you need to stop chewing gum, go see this TMJ doctor, and then go from there. So he recommended me to go see this TMJ doctor. So I went. His name is Dr. Grab-A-Boy in Shorewood, Illinois. He's really cool. He's really nice. And basically I had like my consultation. So the consultation, they do like x-rays. They like have you standing somewhere, kind of like at the dentist how they do pictures, but they do like an x-ray thing where it goes like this and it takes pictures. And they had me doing different types of bites. As you could tell, I'm not wearing the splint right now, but they had me doing different type of bites. And they were measuring like where my mouth would fall, where my teeth would fall, where my jaw would go, like how like they had me go like try to open your mouth as wide as you can, and they're like, we know it's gonna hurt. So like they had me open my mouth really wide, and then like noticing like a normal person would just close, but mine is like I have to like kind of go like a figure 8 to close my mouth. And basically at the end he gives you his like diagnosis, like I believe you have TMJ, and he tells you what stage of TMJ you have. So he told me that he believes I have a stage 4 TMJ. He said it looks really bad, and he like wanted to like, he asked me like certain questions like how long has this been happening? Does your mouth, does your jaw lock a lot? Does it click? Does it pop? And I didn't really like think about it, but like when I was in 8th, I told him like, hey, when I was in 8th grade, like I got hit in the face really hard. And it was on this side, and this is the side where it's the worst. And I got hit in the face, and ever since then, like that was in 8th grade, so I was like what, 14, and I'm 28 now. All that time I have not been able to blow a balloon. It freaks me out. I have to like hold my mouth to blow. I have to like hold my jaw, and like I can't believe I just never thought like, oh, maybe there's something wrong with your jaw because you got hit in the face. And it was like a kick to the face during a cheerleading routine when I used to be in cheerleading in 8th grade. And he was like, oh yeah, that might have something to do with it, because it seems like you have decades worth of like damage. And I was like, oh. So I just never really like thought about it, because I guess it's just been such a long time. So the ear pain just became super crazy. And he was telling me, because it's so disjointed, it's like right underneath my ear, and that's why it hurts so much, because all this pain, all the dislocated jaw, the dislocated disc or whatever it's called, it's like right underneath my ear canal, and that's why my ears were hurting all the time. And I just like never really I never really put 2 and 2 together, because the ear pain was just so crazy, whereas the jaw locking thing, I thought that was like normal. I thought that was just like, oh, that just happens to me, you know, it was just like some random quirky thing. But turns out like, no, that's actually bad. But yeah, he died. Then to get the final like diagnosis, I had to go get an MRI. So they sent me to somewhere in Joliet to go get, I forgot what it's called, to get an MRI. First of all, MRIs were the scariest thing ever. I hated it. They gave me a panic button because I'm very claustrophobic. And it was like an hour. It took forever, but we did it. And then I had to come back from my follow-up, and basically it was like, yes, you have TMJ. It's stage 4 on this side, stage 5 on this side, so it was actually worse than he thought. And basically he told me what my treatments could be, and so basically he does orthopedic splint therapy, which is what I have in here. And it's just like, it looks like this. Sorry if it like looks gross, but it's just like that. So it's not like a retainer. Let me show you my retainer. So this is like my retainer that's for, oh my god, my retainer feels so weird now. I haven't put it on forever. Wow, my retainer feels like kind of kind of cool. I haven't put it on forever. It feels so thin. But you see how it goes down all the way? And I can still talk normally and I don't have like any lisp or anything. Wow, that's so weird. That was really weird. I'm like, I got used to this, but now see this. It's not really a retainer. So the retainer went all the way down here and didn't have this. This is very hard. The retainer is like a little flimsy and stuff. And yeah, so then got a hair in my mouth. So then this is what they gave me, and I'm not really sure how to describe it. I can't talk anymore, but basically it's like orthopedic, and I know I have this thing in my mouth. I gotta get it surgically removed sometime this year, but I'm waiting for the okay from my TMJ doctor. But basically this is supposed to help get my joints back in place, which it has, because I feel like my ears haven't hurt as much anymore. And it's so weird, ironically, how much I hated wearing this at the beginning, and like how much I cried in my car, you know, during that first visit. But like when I have this off, my mouth feels weird. Like this is somewhat kind of comforting, and like it actually does help. Like if I yawn and stuff, I feel like my jaw isn't locking as much or clicking as much, and it just feels so comfortable. And when I take it off, my bite, like I smile, it feels weird. Like it just feels weird. And like I'm gonna just take it off for the rest of the video just so I can like talk. Yeah, my bite just feels like really weird, so it's like kind of like difficult to like explain. But basically, long story short, symptoms to look out for. But I think every situation is different. But for me, it was ear pain, and then just like maybe if you're biting something, like if you think you might have a TMJ, try eating like a Snickers. A Snickers is like the one chocolate right now that I haven't had because it freaks me out. But like it's just so chewy. And if you feel a tingling sensation in your jaw, or it just feels like it's too chewy and you're like, oh, or if you're yawning and your jaw locks, those could be kind of like symptoms you might want to look out for. For me, it was just like a lot of pain right here, and then especially down here and back here. So I would just, if you feel like you have any type of pain like that, I would definitely contact your doctor. Or if you do want to go consult with a TMJ doctor, I will put his information in my description box, but I will preface it with that it's a very expensive, unless you happen to be like rich and money's not an issue. But like the consultation itself was $375, and then the splint was $7,000, and this is just phase 1. So at the end of this, so hopefully like in a year, less than a year hopefully, then there's like a second like splint therapy where it's maybe just something you wear at the like just at night. So yeah, that's kind of like some stuff that you might want to look out for. And I hope that if you're watching this video that you could be comforted that there is help out there. You know, however expensive it may be, it's better than getting surgery. And just like your symptoms and your health, you know, you got to make sure that your symptoms get better and your health comes first. So I highly suggest talking to your dentist or your primary care doctor, and even seeing if it's an ear thing, you could even go see an ENT, because it might at the end of the day just be like that you don't have TMJ and that you just have like an ear infection, because that's what I thought I had. But really pay attention to everything. Pay attention to when you're eating, pay attention to when you're talking, opening your mouth really wide. When you go to the dentist, like does it really hurt when they have you open your mouth? Do you close your mouth like a figure 8? Like really pay attention to all those details, you know, when you're going through your daily life. And then hopefully you'll be able to kind of like see for yourself, like, oh, it's not as bad as blah blah blah. But everyone has different types. So you could have phase 1 TMJ doesn't even really, like, it might not be as bad. So just like really pay attention to those types of things. And yeah, I hope that was very helpful, and I hope that if you have TMJ that you don't feel alone. I like, since doing these TMJ videos, a lot of you guys have been commenting on my videos and like telling me that you're going through the same thing, and honestly it's really helped a lot. So just like, I don't feel alone, and I just felt so alone when this whole process started, because like I was having like so many symptoms for like years before I even got diagnosed. So I'm glad I'm finally like getting that help. And you know, it sucks that it may be expensive, but like at the end of the day, my health comes first. And yeah, so I hope you guys like that video. I hope that you guys stick around. I'm almost at 500 subscribers, so please, you know, like, share, and comment on my channel. And I hope you guys keep watching. Bye, cuties.